You are now listening to a member of the Disney Podcast family. Head over to Disney Podcast Family on Instagram to see all the latest posts for this show and links to other great Disney podcasts.
One little spark of inspiration is at the heart of all creation.
Spark a dream that we're meant to follow.
You're listening to the Extra Magic Hour, brought to you by Walt's Apartment Podcast and the DisInsider. Join the team in the studio as they bring you the spirit of Disney through park news, history, and tips and tricks to make your Disney Parks vacation even more magical.
For this time all year, a special season that I hold so dear, in a place full of magic and cheer. Christmas time at Disney is here.
I walk down Main Street and there I see a sparkling, towering Christmas tree. Mickey wreaths from store to store, carving hanging above the doors.
The castle's icicles glistening bright, shimmering sweetly in the night. There's no more festive place to be than the holiday season at Disney.
Merry Christmas.
Yes.
I mean,
Merry
Halloween
Christmas.
season is over, so we know that Disney switches from Halloween to Christmas basically overnight. And
like
this is gonna be our first Christmas edition of Extra Magic Hour for this 2022 season. So
that's right.
So good.
Welcome everyone. Welcome to Extra Magic Hour. We are a Disney Parks podcast brought to you by DisInsider.com and Getaway Today. I'm so happy to be joined by the two most amazing co-hosts, minus Brianna, who can't be with us tonight, but I got the other two here with me.
But Lewis
Sam.
is on this show too. You forgot.
And Lewis. Lewis is doing big Sunken City designs. I'm sorry. We don't even have to edit that out, Lewis. I love you too. But Lewis is doing big things. Brianna's doing big things. Brianna's still celebrating her birthday from 2 weeks ago, so she's just going and going. But I do have Sam. I do have Nicole here. Ladies, how are you tonight?
Fantastic. If you haven't watched our live show that we recorded this evening, go watch that.
Right.
We had fun.
We did.
But also, so excited to see Cole's face here again. So,
yes.
Hello.
Our newest host of the Extra Magic Hour, Nicole, how are you?
I'm fantastic. It's been raining. You guys are all used to that. We are not used to the rain here. I'm like, what is falling from the sky? Like, something is wrong.
We have snow.
Yeah.
It's November 2nd, and we have snow. So Sam will probably have like ice tomorrow or a hurricane or something tomorrow.
Stop.
She'll have something.
Yeah,
we don't
tornado.
get hurricanes.
Sorry, tornado. I meant. I'm sorry,
I might get. Yeah, we might get tornadoes. Like literally. Oh yeah, let me get a hurricane on Lake Michigan.
There has been many times where Sam has texted us and said, tornado watch going downstairs. But I'm glad you guys are doing well. We have a fun show for you. Like Sam said, it is. Let's be honest. Disney switches from night to day, from one holiday to the next, and they are in full Christmas mode. November 11th at Disneyland, Christmas will start. I'm not exactly sure on the date at Walt Disney World. It's probably close to the same time, but Walt Disney World's a lot quicker than Disneyland when it comes to switching over. So it's Christmas time. Let's talk about one thing before we get into our news and our topics and our Disney parks did you know and travel tips and Imagineering stuff. I completely just spaced. What was I going to
Were
say?
you going to ask us what we think about Christmas at Disney?
Yeah, that was it. Sam,
You
what
should.
Do you think? What do you think about Christmas at Disney, Sam?
I think that Christmas at Disney is the most magical place that I have ever spent the holidays. Aside from making memories with my family, like in our home, that kind of like Christmas magic. But there is nothing that compares to walking down Main Street towards the castle during the Christmas party, like Snope coming down.
Yes.
Like snow in Florida. What? Snope coming down, the Christmas floats, the Christmas cookies, and the hot chocolate.
Candy
As you're
cane.
like, oh, it is. If you could intensify Disney magic, it is during the Christmas season.
I have heard that. I'm hoping to someday get there. I've lived in Southern California and still have never been to Disneyland at Christmas time. So hoping maybe next year I can make it to Disneyland for Christmas time, but it will happen. I'm looking very forward to it. I have experienced Halloween the past couple of years, so I'm getting there. So I'll get there. But yeah. Cole, how about you? Christmas at Disneyland?
Yes. Sam, have you ever been like on Christmas or like the week of Christmas?
I've been the week before Christmas.
Yeah. I've never been that close, but
yeah, I've done the week before Christmas. So my husband's birthday is mid-December. So we've gone like the week of his birthday before. But I like just the Christmas party alone, you have to pry me out of. Like
so good.
Pull me out of. And I'm definitely like the extra one who's there in like big green tutus and looking like a Christmas tree, skipping my way down Main Street. Gosh, I haven't been to a Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party in a couple of years. So I need to get back ASAP.
When was the last time?
I've never been.
Oh, go ahead.
Right before COVID was the last time I was in the parks.
Oh, girl, you got to do something about that.
I know.
Oh, that's too long.
Here, Sam, you got to figure out a time to bring Haley and Mike out here and
I know.
Check out Disneyland. You've never been to Disneyland, right?
I have not, but I can already tell you that like walking up to the castle, I would probably sit there and cry.
The castle isn't even what does it to you. That's the honestly, and because our show is called Walt's Apartment, but that's honestly that for me is
the apartment
because it's just like damn. And now they have the tour back that you can go in there and get a tour and eat cookies on Walt Disney's patio. Yeah, $160 is not enough. It sounds expensive, but I paid all day long. It's an hour and a half long. Sean Nyberg, who used to be a host on here, just did it with him and his fiance Paul did it a couple weeks ago and said it was amazing for an hour and a half. I'm fine with it. Let's go. That would be the most amazing thing. And to hear Walt Disney's thoughts and Disneyland. Like I said, I've been to Walt Disney World once, but it was so long ago. But comparing Disneyland to anything else, just because of Walt Disney actually being there, is just totally different topic for another show. We could talk about that for a whole show. Just the comparison of how different it is. I've seen other podcasters from the East Coast come to Disneyland and say Disneyland's my park now, because you just get that connection. And Cole goes to Disneyland all the time. So but
I still cry walking down Main Street at Walt Disney World. I cry walking into almost any Walt Disney World park. So I can imagine that I would be incredibly emotional in Disneyland, and I can't wait for that experience. Also, like, my bucket list park is not Disneyland, by the way.
Is it Paris?
It's Disney Sea.
Yeah, you've said that. No.
And I think I would just like keel over and die from happiness.
Yeah.
Fair. The Snope, I think there's like between like the Christmas music going in, it's a little colder. You're like kind of bundled up. You see like all the wreaths and all the lights.
Well, not in Florida. It's not cold. You're not bundled up in Florida.
True. But like when that Snope, like dim the lights and that Snope starts to fall, I don't know why it's so emotional. Like you can't help it. Like I would love to be able to go to like one of the after parties, like the merriest. What is it called? Merriest.
Mickey's Very Merry.
Yeah.
Ready.
And I know that like Disneyland has their version and such, but you know, to be able to get a candy cane and the
Christmas parade.
Yes, like all of it. It's amazing. It's amazing.
It's magic.
It's sure.
Magic. Yeah, it's magic.
So for tonight, we're going to talk some Disney parks news. We're going to talk. Sam's going to do an Imagineering feature. And Nicole, you said you had some travel tips, or you had something from a travel tip, or did I misunderstand that?
You probably misunderstood that.
Perfect. Okay. So we'll just do some parks news, all Christmas related, except Fantasmic starts again today, November 2nd. The cast preview was last night, and it looks, I've never seen it at Walt Disney World, but it looks cool. I mean, it's in a stadium, and I guess you can drink beer while you watch Fantasmic. That's cool to me. But yeah, it looks really cool. It looks like fun. I guess they took out the Pocahontas scene and added in some other stuff in. Saw Attractions Magazine was showing some video of it. Looks like fun. The stadium idea is really cool. And to get that idea at Disneyland, it's you just sit on the street in New Orleans Square and watch it. So it's to have a stadium would be so cool, but you couldn't put a stadium at Disneyland. But
no, definitely not.
It looks cool.
And it's Fantasmic is running still only on the weekends, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but the week of Thanksgiving, they're going to open it up and it's going to be weekly. So that's cool.
At Disneyland, right?
At Disneyland, yeah. Okay. I'm sure it's going to be the same for Walt Disney World as well.
They'll probably play a little bit more, I'll bet, to start because it is coming back and it's just coming back. So, but it looks cool. Good for them. I'm glad they're getting more stuff back. Everyone's getting more stuff. I know. I'm not sure where it was. I saw Nicole sent me a thing saying, we need to talk about this. And it was Buzz and Woody. The Toy Story characters are back. Is that at Walt Disney World or is that at Disneyland?
Yeah, no, at Walt Disney World. So Walt Disney World through the pandemic has been like ahead of us the entire time. Like their rules have been lax. Their park wasn't closed as long. They were able to take masks off way before us. The vaccinations were way different. But something that Walt Disney World, and maybe because sadly just the amount of cast members that they needed, which really, I mean, they're doing their very best, but they didn't have as much character interaction back. Again, I'm sure that's due to a lack of cast members, but they had said like, oh, Buzz and Woody, like, you know, all those characters are coming back into the Toy Story area, and they hadn't been. But this last week, finally, like they made it back, and it was like a huge deal for everyone that they're back on the calendar.
Well, cast interaction, I mean, character interaction, I think is a key to any Disney park trip. And I know Sam has said that before, like taking Haley, you know, that's what she looked forward to the most.
Like, her favorite thing.
And I remember when you went, Nicole, with your friend, you went back on, you were there the day at Disneyland that you could hug a character again.
I cried. Yeah. I cried.
Yeah, like, that's just a huge part of it.
Most definitely. And we had went to Plaza Inn for breakfast and saw Minnie, and I still wasn't sure. Like I knew it was starting that day, but I was like, I don't know if she's going to hug us or not. And the cast member that was taking pictures was crying. Like it was just this like amazing experience, and like Minnie being extra excited, and you could tell that was like such a big deal to them as well, to have that interaction.
That's funny you talk about like that, because I remember last year when I went, when my son proposed to his girlfriend, it was like an act of Congress to get like even Minnie we tried to get Minnie to hold the picture, and they're like, nope, Minnie can't hold it. We can't do anything. And they were just because they were so strict about the rules, which was good. I mean, they had to be, obviously, to protect everyone, but it was just a difference in the amount of time. It's the same place where I saw the picture of you and Minnie, and then the same place that he proposed in last October. Just like crazy how much things have changed, but it's all for the good. It's getting back out there. Fantasmic coming back to Walt Disney World is huge. I know they did a lot. They rebuilt the boat and they changed the show and added new water features and drained the lake. And so good for them. I'm glad they got it, because Fantasmic is my ultimate favorite show. So I'm glad that they got it back over there as well. So
something else that they started too is cast members can take your phone and take pictures too. So that's back, because for the longest time they couldn't touch any of like your personal items.
No.
Do we think that's going to change though with like Shanghai shutting down now?
I wonder.
It could.
I wonder. And just like this flu season in general right now.
Yeah. We talked a bit about it on the live, if we thought that, COVID was starting again, because, Shanghai, if you think back to it, Shanghai closed in January of 2020, which was the beginning of COVID. And then it was Shanghai, and then it was, I believe, Hong Kong, and then it worked over into California and Florida, and they just worked its way around. And I think me and Nicole were talking earlier, and then we're talking on the live as well. The strains are so different now here than there. So maybe, and obviously Shanghai's a little more cautious than we are, which is good for them, but it would crush this country if they started closing these theme parks again, I think. So.
Well, hasn't Shanghai closed like more than
this is his third time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've closed a few times. Yeah.
What
good
else?
Stuff.
We got lots of news. So Nicole, you're the newscaster. So.
Well, Magic Key renewals are back. That's exciting. So a lot of people can now, if they didn't have a pass before, they can get a pass. Wonder if they're going to do it or not. Yeah.
Oh, you can just buy a pass now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're back. Like
today?
Yeah, like this happened.
I had no idea. I thought you were just talking about like renewal. You can renew the pass you already have, so you can buy a new Magic Key now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they clearly waited until like the bulk of the renewals, that beginning part was over, and then like reassess. So that was fun. And I think it's perfect timing for Christmas too. I think a lot of people do gift that.
Oh yeah.
Like a family gift, or like if they go and then they end up upgrading their pass, like this is the time to do it. Like, so they were pretty smart about it by opening it up now. Yeah. So that's exciting.
That's crazy. That's awesome. That's good. Yeah, I agree. I think it'll be a lot of gifts, especially if you live in California, because you can make payments on it. So
I love that. $50 a month for Emma and I. It's like golden.
That's $700 one time. Oof. But hey, well, good. Sam, thoughts on the Magic Key?
I think it's great because I know that a lot of people have been looking for an incentive to keep going to the parks, especially with the price increases. And I know this is going to help people kind of, weigh those options that they were kind of stuck between when it came to, do I plan my vacation for this year, next year? And then do I not? So I'm hoping it helps. It kind of gives people who have been longtime fans that incentive to keep going, because a lot of people were worried about what was going to happen.
It's almost cheaper if you buy like the pass I have for $700. It's cheaper to buy that, even if you're going to go once. If you're going to go just there for a week, it's cheaper. It's cheaper to do that, to pay the $700 and then to pay $200 and whatever dollars it is for one day. So it's cheaper to buy a Magic Key if you can. So that's good that they're back. I had no idea. I'm surprised I didn't know that. But
yeah, they also started shipping out a new magnet for the Magic Key holders. I have yet to get mine. I'm waiting patiently. My best friend's daughter got hers, and we renewed like about the same time. I might have even renewed like a little bit before her. So I'm just waiting patiently. But yeah, that's always exciting.
Maybe it's the rain holding it up.
They live right down the street, so I don't even know. I don't even know. But it's pretty exciting.
Yeah. What else you got?
So the Christmas merch, like people are going crazy over this merch already. Like the ears, the Christmas Crocs. I haven't the Christmas Crocs, I follow like a few cast members on TikTok, like even they're going crazy. Like the Christmas merch this year, by far, like people are just scrambling for whatever they could get their hands on. Have you seen anything you like, Sam, or you wouldn't be able to live without?
Not really. Like I've only glanced quickly. I haven't seen anything. Like I've seen something at Walt Disney World that came out today. It's not necessarily Christmas merch that I'm like, oh my gosh, I need. But
well, you can say what it is. I mean, why would you not say it? Because I would like to have one of those. That'd be cool.
The Mr. Toad popcorn bucket right now is
Yes!
like I
Yes.
need it. So it's at Walt Disney World. But other than that, like I haven't completely fallen in love with anything from the Christmas line, but I also haven't paid too much attention to it because I've been so busy. What about you, Nicole? Is there anything that you're like, I need it?
So like they're not as much like this year, and like you said, like I haven't necessarily paid like a huge, like gone through like with a fine tooth comb. That popcorn bucket is amazing. They also have until November 10th. They have a special like photo op that you can take with Mr. Toad, and like it's his car like coming in or whatever. So that's like pretty exciting. And like over the last few months, I've became like very fond of Daisy for some like reason. Like she's always fabulous, but like the character interaction that I've had with her the last few times, I'm pretty damn smitten over her. And they have Daisy bow ears. So there's not the ears, but it's like her purple bow. Yeah. And I'm like, I freaking need that. Like I would rock that purple bow. Like, let's be real.
You should. One of my favorite character interactions that I've ever seen with like my child is her and Daisy. Like Daisy literally sat on the floor. Like, and you know how hard it is to get up off the floor when you're like sat on the floor with my child.
Amazing. Like we've had such good interaction with her energy. Like we were on the cruise line and she like did a spin for us. I was like, spin, show your outfit, girl. And she just like matches your energy. Like so good. And I know it's a cast member, it's someone different every time, but for whatever reason, she's like on point. So
you gotta have that attitude with Daisy.
Yeah, she's so good. She's so good.
Is there a theme? Is there a theme for the Christmas merch? Because I know last year wasn't it like that woodsy kind of theme. I remember
very
that.
Similar. Like I was seeing like the Christmas Crocs. They also have this like really cute pink line that's out with like these the pink Crocs with like the fuzzy Minnie or Mickey head or whatever. But it's still like very a natural, like neutral vibe. They do have a grumpy nutcracker that I need in my life. It's not even a want, it's a need. And I think it's very fun. Like why they picked him, I don't know, but I love it. Like, because I definitely am a collector of nutcrackers and he's very, very cool. Very cool. So I'm excited for him.
Okay.
Yeah. So they have like, it seems like November 11th is like the date, which makes sense in some form or fashion because it's Veterans Day weekend. And so it's a 3-day weekend and it's going to be like very, very busy. But they are starting like the Mickey's Mix Magic, November 4th through the 6th. And then they have projections with no fireworks, the 7th through the 10th. So I don't know why, like, are they needing that time to then prep for November 11th would be my guess. So you only have projections and then they must be prepping for fireworks for Christmas season is what I would imagine.
Right.
And
I love Mickey's Mix Magic. I'm kind of bummed it's going away. So because you probably won't see it again after this. I wouldn't think for a long time.
Well, I mean, it seems like they say that, but then it comes back.
Yeah, but you have Disney 100 next year, and that starts in January.
Fair.
So.
Okay, fair. Yeah, fair. And then like the Christmas Fantasy Parade starts the 11th. The Candlelight Processional, which is a bucket list thing, that's December 3rd and 4th this year, for just those 2 days. And then they do have the tree lighting that starts November 11th as well. And same like Small World, they're doing like an enchantment castle lighting. And is that where they just like kind of announce and show, like turn on the Small World lights for the first time? Yeah. Okay.
Well, I think they do it every night though. I think it's every night.
That's kind of what I thought. Like it's so grand. Like it's just so pretty. So they do like that at 7:30 and 8:30. So I don't know what that means. Like that's kind of weird. And then also on this, it kind of lists out like things that are closed. Like I didn't realize Mark Twain's Riverboat is closed right now. So that reopens the 4th. Indiana Jones reopens the 17th. to our surprise, there's no date for Tarzan yet. Just kidding. Just kidding. And then Toontown, it says like spring of 2023.
Right.
And then for DCA, like it seems like they have some good things listed out too, because World of Color is still there. And then they have a World of Color Season of Lights. Do you guys know anything about that one?
I don't. Is it a different show?
Well, I'm wondering if it's a holiday theme because it says Seasons of Lights. So that might be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down for that. That sounds good.
Does Walt Disney World do all the same kind of stuff, Sam?
Not exactly.
That's just weird to me. That's weird.
And then I see that DCA closes at 5 p.m. on November 16th. Have we heard of a cast member preview?
I heard something. It was a cast. It was a corporate event or a cast party. I saw someone talking about that a couple weeks ago.
Like, are you asking as far as like layovers and stuff?
Yeah. Well,
so
yeah,
like
they don't do layovers, do they, at Walt Disney World?
They do, but not like you guys do. So like the lights will change on like Tomorrowland Speedway, and the lights will change like in Space Mountain, and the music changes.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, no, not really.
But they don't have. But they have the. Don't they have like a festival, like a nighttime thing? Because they don't have that at California this year, like a night, like a party, after hours party.
Yeah, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party.
Okay.
Yeah, because this year there's nothing. It says no Merriest Nights after hours events this year.
Right.
Do we know? So are they not doing Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party at Walt Disney World?
I haven't heard that they're not doing it.
You're talking about Disneyland, right? That they're not doing
Disneyland.
anything.
It was to my understanding that they were still doing for Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
Mickey's.
Right.
Mickey's.
Yeah.
Very Merry Christmas Party.
Which is kind of a bummer because I thought that the Merriest Nights went over really well. And I know it, like the Mickey's Christmas Party goes over really well in Walt Disney World. So why wouldn't they, capitalize? Like if everyone talks about how money hungry they are, why aren't they tapping into that? Other than just cast member, maybe they just don't have the manpower to support the needs of those extra events. I don't know.
I remember last year the Disneyland Christmas stuff when they had that Christmas after hour thing. Like the Muppets came back. The Muppets have not been in Disneyland for like ever, and it was such a big deal. The Muppets were on the trolley car and were singing and stuff. And yeah, I'm really surprised that they did not do something this year. But everyone bitched and complained last year about how much it was. But they still sold out.
It was really expensive.
But they sold out.
I don't remember how much, but it was.
It was upwards of $200, I think. I think it was upwards expensive. Of $200. Yeah.
Yeah. I do see here that they are doing a festival of holidays over at DCA. So maybe like that's kind of instead of an after hours because they are doing the food booth. Mm-hmm. So that'll be fun. I always like when they do that. And then they do have like a Redwood Creek Challenge that's closed, and it opens November 11th with Santa.
Okay. Yeah,
they did a phenomenal job for Oogie Boogie with that Redwood Creek. It was beautiful. That was the first time that they had that open with like the light show, and they had these like beautiful candle opera things, and oh my God, it was gorgeous. Yeah, so spooky, so good.
So spooky, the spookiest.
Yeah, the spookiest.
Right. Do you have any more news?
I don't think. Oh, the Disneyland cruise is coming back to the Macy's Day Parade, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
And I think you're the one that had mentioned about the no more negative.
Yeah, we talked about it.
I had already.
Yeah, it's so weird because we talked about it on the live, and then you and I were talking, and you said that they changed that before you went on the cruise.
Yeah.
But then it was on Twitter today, and Mary, who's always commenting on the show, says that they just changed it as well, that now they don't care about your vaccination status at all, and they're not testing anymore or requiring tests. So
maybe I misunderstood. I know that we didn't have to, but
yeah.
Yeah, I was just looking through to see if there's any other. I think that was all the news.
Okay.
That I had.
Sam, do you know of anything happening at Walt Disney World that we might not have covered?
That we haven't covered? No, not really.
Well, thanks, Cole, because like I said, I completely spaced on getting any news. So when you said you had stuff to talk about, I'm like, okay, perfect. This is
Cool
great.
to save the day.
Yeah,
Christmas.
you saved our
Gotta
butt.
talk
So
about Christmas.
thank you. Appreciate that. So we're about halfway in. Let's take a quick second before Sam does her Imagineer thing, and let's listen and learn about our sponsor, Getaway Today.
Well, hello, and welcome to Let's Get to Know Our Sponsor. Getaway Today has been helping Disney vacation dreams come true since 1990. Whether you choose to visit the happiest place on earth or travel to Orlando and beyond, they want to help you. Need to know the best hotel in the area? What theme park tickets should you buy? Have a last-minute change? No worries. Their travel experts are always here to help. Want to book a cruise and don't know where to start? Hey, they can help with that too. They will help you find the perfect cruise for your vacation, whether it is your first time or you're a well-seasoned cruiser. When you book your cruise with one of the Getaway Today's experts, you will have a dedicated agent to help you every step of the way. They take care of the details so you can have the most fun. Getaway Today has layaway, peace of mind travel, allowing you to cancel or make changes up to 72 hours in advance. You will always have the most up-to-date vacation information, both pre-arrival and upon your welcome. Getaway Today will guarantee the best prices with no hidden fees. And every time you book through Getaway Today, they will donate a portion back to a charitable organization in your area. And so far, over $4.5 million has been donated. So click the link in our show notes to start your Disney vacation planning for more information and the best deals. Tell them Walt's Apartment sent you. And until next time, enjoy the view from Walt's Apartment.
That's so much fun.
Oh, goodness. Hey, I was just reading. Did you guys know that in Fantasmic, they added, they have Elsa that's featured and Moana and some other special effects?
I saw the Moana Attractions magazine posted the Moana thing, and she makes the water dance and stuff. It's badass.
It looks really good. For some reason, I missed that. I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Here? Yeah, so good.
I'm looking for, I think I was looking on here why that commercial was playing. It actually starts tomorrow on the 3rd. So when this show comes out is the day that it actually will start. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it because, people are going to video it. So I can't wait to see it and compare it to ours. So that's going to be, I love Fantasmic, so I'm excited. But the Moana stuff looks really, really good.
Yeah, so good.
So Sam.
Yes.
We haven't done a Imagineer focus in a while. Are you ready to focus on an Imagineer?
I am. So we're not going to do a super long one, but we're going to do one that was super interesting to me because they are from South Bend, Indiana, which is about 45 minutes from here.
Notre Dame?
Yeah, Notre Dame is in South Bend. Right. So we're going to talk about Bill Cottrell, who was referred to as Uncle Bill. He was basically a story design animator for Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. But I thought it would be fun to highlight the way that he got hired with the company.
Okay.
So he, basically, his sister was friends with Roy Disney. Let me go to, so Roy knew his sister through the security First National Bank. And the studio used to bank with First National Bank, Security First National Bank. He knew that she had a brother, and she said he's just out of school. He's looking for a job. He had gone to Occidental in Los Angeles for animation, and Roy's like, oh, what does he do? And his sister was like, well, he's trying to get in a newspaper as a newspaper writer, a sports writer, or a cartoonist. And Roy sent Cottrell to a Walt, but not Walt Disney, actually. He didn't send him to Walt Disney first. He sent him to Walter Lantz, who was looking for someone in animation. And he said, I'll give you my card and you can give it to your brother. So he gave it to Cottrell. And he took the card from Roy. He went to see Walter Lantz, but the job had already been filled that Roy was looking for, or that Roy was suggesting about the animator. So
was it for Woody Woodpecker?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the
Walter Lantz did Woody Woodpecker.
Yeah. So it was 1929, and there weren't a lot of jobs available.
Well, probably not that then.
Animators at the time. So a few weeks later, Roy goes back into the bank and asks Uncle Bill's sister, like, hey, did he get the job? And she's like, no, he didn't. And Roy says, okay, why don't you have him come and see my brother Walt? So he puts his portfolio together, gets some drawings, and he's like, I don't think they're this good. But he took the things that he had written for newspapers because, versatility. He could write, he could draw or animate. And he ended up taking them to Walt, and Walt hired him in the ink and paint department. And he started painting cells and inking cells and working on the cameras for animation. So he was actually he became a sequence director for Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs because Walt trusted him so much. And we know that was like a huge deal because this was like animation in its introduction.
Oh yeah.
So he did the Queen and the Huntsman and the magic mirror transformation of the Queen into the witch and all of the witch sequences. So pretty much anything that was villainous, Uncle Bill Cottrell was in charge of. So I thought he'd be fun to talk about today.
That's cool.
I freaking love how shit happens where if he would have gotten the job with the other Walt, he would have never landed and maybe not have lasted his career to be as fulfilling as it ended up being.
Well, do you want to hear about how much more fulfilling his career got?
Well, yeah.
So he ended up coming back because Walt had big plans for him and needed help building an amusement park. And Walt called Cottrell back and appointed him vice president and later president of Wet Enterprises.
Oh, damn.
So take that. He didn't get that Walter Lantz job and ended up becoming a president of Wet Enterprises.
Well, everything happens for a reason.
I love that.
He did develop. He helped to develop Zorro too.
Oh, we'll forgive him for that. It's okay.
That's funny.
Raise it. I mean, Zorro's okay.
Well, he's the one who got them to get rid of the Imagineering coining for ride and starting to call them attractions instead too. He's responsible for that.
There's some people that you don't call them rides.
They're attractions.
They are attractions. I will say Andy from when we were on the DCast, he would never let you call it a ride. So
well, in 1979, Bill Cottrell became the first member of the Disney organization to celebrate 50 years of employment with the company too.
Oh, geez.
He retired after 53 years of service in 1982.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So what else do we have?
His story's great. Sorry.
Keep going. If you got more.
I'm just saying, just listening to how he was, this kid just graduating from college and his sister worked at a bank that Roy banked at and for the company and ended up becoming president of WED.
So many of those, the Imagineering stories are
start that way.
Yeah. Bob Gurr, what he said what was he doing before? He wasn't he had to learn trigonometry and stuff like that. They all have such crazy stories that there's none, when we saw the Marty Sklar thing, just talking about Marty Sklar is the best.
Yes. No, but that's the thing about Imagineers. They have and had so much heart, and that's what set them above and beyond. It wasn't because they had this crazy technical knowledge. It's because they were willing to do whatever it took to learn the technical
Sure.
knowledge to create these attractions and create these experiences.
Tony Baxter scooped ice cream first before he.
And popcorn too.
Yeah, was it popcorn or was it ice cream?
I think he did
Popcorn.
both.
Okay, it was a popcorn. Okay.
But the popcorn was across from the ice cream shop.
Yeah.
Though. So it's
But
fine.
yeah,
I think
I
he
mean,
did
just-
a little bit of both.
It's just that, yeah. Imagineers, you just think, oh, that guy, but we love the Imagineers.
And just the fact that there was a time and a place that they would have taken any job
Mhm.
within that organization to be a part of it
Mhm.
and be willing to work their way up and be able to get your hands in the right hands and be able to tell the story. Like that is, it's all about who you know.
They're like,
that's
oh,
what it
you want
comes
me to
down
walk around tying Walt's shoes? Sure, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Because then I'm going to earn Walt's trust. And someday I'm going to be freaking president of WED.
Mhm.
That's right.
Yeah. Like Marty had just started, and then before you know it,
He was selling
like,
newspapers.
Mhm.
Yes. And then he had to write like the announcement of Walt's passing, and he's like, I was like so green, like fresh out. So yeah, very cool stories come out from Imagineering.
For sure.
My favorite.
No, absolutely. Disney parks, did you know? I didn't get one, so I'm gonna hopefully the two ladies
You're
did.
the worst.
I am. I got a lot of stuff on my mind. I got lots of stuff to do. So
Got my mind on my money and
Yeah.
my money on
Money
my
on my
mind.
mind.
Rolling
Well-
down the street.
Sam, do you need a
Rolling
minute to
down
look
Main
this up?
Street. No, I've got mine.
Okay, you can go.
I was just gonna go through. Okay, Sean? I'm gonna quiz you right now. Are you
let's
ready?
go. Yes.
Do you know the estimated amount that it cost to build the original Walt Disney World? Like,
You should have asked me
Opening
Disney.
day.
You should have asked me Disneyland. I could have told you that easily. That was 17 million. I think they 150 million.
$400 million.
Okay.
And do you
I
know
was
how much
totally
it has
just
cost
guessing.
to build Walt Disney World so far as of 2022?
Oh damn.
Oh, geez.
Well, not 2022. I'm going to say as of 2017, actually. This is when this article came out. So it's probably like an extra $2 billion.
So,
Mhm.
so it's in the billions, obviously. I'm going to say, well, just Cars Land was like 1.5 billion. So I'm going to say 25 billion.
So before like Toy Story Land opened and before Galaxy's Edge opened, it
Okay.
was 3.5 billion.
That's it?
So I'm thinking now it's that. Yeah, I'm thinking now it's probably closer to 6 billion.
Yeah. Seems low. It just sounds low. You know what I mean? Because
Mm-hmm.
I know because it was a 1.5 billion makeover of DCA when they did
Yeah,
that.
but when you think like, I don't know how much Galaxy's Edge cost. Galaxy's Edge could have been like 2.5 billion. But in 2017, where this
Right.
fact came from, it
Right.
was 3.5. But that was before Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
So
Damn, that's a lot.
Well, and I don't think things cost as much in Florida as they do like
in California, yes,
in
that's true.
California and LA.
That's true.
So like
Genie Plus
you
is
really-
more in California than it is in Florida.
Well, I mean, building supplies in general cost more in
Right.
California.
Yeah. And even like, you know, if they were to try to build something now,
Labor
And the
and
labor
everything.
cost as well.
Right.
hmm yeah. So, I mean, I guess like, yeah, I was guessing like 8 or 9 billion would have been my guess.
I will try and figure that out exact like right now for our next extra magic hour, but the fact that I pulled up was 2017.
I'll bet you're upwards of $5 billion, I would say, with Galaxy's Edge and
Oh, I think it's
and
at
Toy
least
Story.
5.7, if not more. I
Okay.
think it's probably closer to to 7, 8, where Nicole is
Okay.
guessing.
God, I guess 25. That's crazy. but-
You get 25.
yeah.
I mean, but who knows? Like, I mean,
Right.
yeah,
be.
I mean,
Yeah. All right. So I know your Disney parks. Did you know? Because you told me about it earlier. So it's really cool. I mean, I had no idea about this. So go ahead.
so yeah, like I am a big fan of yesterdayland.com, and I occasionally like go, like that's where I found out about the tire flowers and that sort of thing. And I know that on some of these extra magic hour, like I know Big L and I have gone on oh please hold on. And you guys have talked about this on the show, but the treehouse seems to be off topic. So I pulled it up today.
It's going to be a topic till they tell you what it is. That's going to be a topic.
Yeah,
it's going to be
exactly.
the never-ending topic.
Yeah, for sure. So they kind of talked about, like, obviously it was based, like, from a 1960s movie, and, like, we kind of know all that stuff, and it was, like, a combination of, like, European goods and, like, a primitive, like, jungle vibe. But I did not know is that there was a water wheel that supplied of lifting like 200 gallons per hour into the treehouse, but it was of clean water, like usable water. And they were bamboo gutters that provided the gravity to clean the water and provide water to every room. So I did not know that. And how they went crazy with the boys' room of it being like of a crow's nest. And on Yesterdayland, I highly recommend go check it out because there's some original footage on there that shows like the view, and it looks like a crow's nest. And I don't know that as a child I would have ever paid attention to that. So that was like really, really cool. And so then they kind of like take you through all of the different rooms. They take you that the fact that there's 68 stairs going up, but there's 69 coming down. So that's fun.
How's that possible?
I don't know. Like, I was like trying to think like, yeah, I don't know. But they also talked about how it's not an attraction yet an exercise, and how like the Imagineers were like, this is dumb. No one's going to, like, as far as like WED design, like they were like, we're not tree climbers. Like, this is dumb. Like, this is a waste of time. It's a waste of money. No one's going to climb to the top, you know, and then like kind of negotiate their way down. And then before you know it, like it was the Swiss family treehouse for like 36 years. And it ended up being like a thing that everybody wanted to experience because it wasn't like really a line. It was like more continuous. And so they kind of talked about some of that, like fun facts, but just how it ended up being like a super big deal. And I had no idea it had running water. So that's cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
So just to clarify, the site is Yesterland, right?
Yesterdayland. Yesterland.
Yesterland. Yeah, I'm looking it up. I just looked up here to see what it was because I know it's a great. I agree with you. It's a great. Because I didn't know if there was two. So when you said this, I'm like, is there two different sites? Because I knew of Yesterland. Yeah, no,
sorry.
So I want to know. You're fine. I just want to make sure that we were.
It's like super, super fun.
Yeah, they're great. They have so much great stuff on there. I do have one that I'm gonna steal from you because you told me about this earlier. Did you know that Walt Disney was the creator of the Toys for Tots campaign, and actually he designed the train, right?
So I was actually
correct me if I'm wrong.
That later.
Of course you did, right?
Sorry, I cut you
off. Yeah, no. So
go ahead.
So I'm gonna go. I was gonna save it to the end because
well, here we are at the end. So
yeah, there we go.
Sorry.
So I was like, it kind of followed in with like the whole my Christmas theme that I had going, but I wanted to end with the toy drive, and
nice job,
this
Sean.
is something that Disney,
Nice job, Sean. Screwed it all up.
No, it's fine. You tied it in for us. That's good.
There you go.
It was perfect. It's perfect. We're at 48 minutes, so we're good.
Take us home.
There we go. But the toy drive is like very near and dear to like Walt Disney as a whole, both Walt Disney World and Disneyland. And so they are very excited to have this toy drive back since COVID. And they've partnered with Marine Toys for Tots program this time. And this program, Disney has been with them since the beginning, and this is a 75-year-old program. And what did they call them? They didn't call them Imagineers. They call them something. But anyways, they essentially drew up the train, which was very fun. So that came from Walt Disney, the artist, designed that train logo. And they are offering donations online this year, which is a first. So you can go to shopdisney.com and you can find it. Yeah. So you can find the information. You can donate cash. You can donate a gift. So you can like pick something. And then you can also purchase and bring it in. So like at Disney Springs, Downtown Disney, both of those locations, you can drop off toys. And I believe there's even areas within the parks that you can drop your goodies off at. So that's exciting because I did not know that about Toys for Tots. And that's something like the kids and I have always donated as a family. You know, we let them pick something out or, you know, whatever have you. So that just made it even more special to know that like it came from, you know, Walt supported them for the last 75 years.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so that's cool.
Cool. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I love it. I love it.
Look at that. We always do it. Make a good show. I appreciate you guys both so much. I love talking Christmas. Christmas is my favorite time of year. So
plus, you just love talking to us.
That's true too. That's fair. But Nicole, Sam, thank you guys so much. Listeners, thank you so much. Yeah. So with that being said, hope you have a magical day, everyone, and good night till next time.
See you next time.
Good night.